All right, let's talk about something we've all run into. You're writing an automation script for what looks like a super simple task. A slider, a pop-up, or in this case, a resizable box. But what happens when that simple thing just refuses to work? Well, today we're going on a debugging journey to figure it out.
Think about it. With a mouse, it's totally intuitive. A simple click and drag, done. But how do you actually translate that simple human action into code that a machine can understand and execute? That gap between what we do manually and what we can automate, that's exactly the puzzle we're going to solve together.
Okay, let's dive right in. Our target is a pretty standard jQuery widget, and our tool of choice, Selenium's Actions class, which is, basically built for this kind of thing. On paper, this should be a piece of cake.
So here's the game plan, our initial strategy. 4 steps, super logical. Step 1, find the little resize handle. Step 2, create a new action. Step 3, tell it to drag that handle by a specific number of pixels. And step 4, just hit perform. Simple, right? What could possibly go wrong?
Yeah, famous last words. We hit run, fully expecting to see that box resize beautifully. And instead, we get an instant failure. The plan totally blew up on the launchpad, which means our real work as automation detectives is just getting started.
Everything looked perfect. The logic was sound, the code was clean. So why did it break? It's that feeling every single one of us has had. But here's the thing. The first rule of debugging is that the answer is always, always waiting for you in the error message.
And boom, there it is, our very first clue. No such element exception. Now, this isn't just a random failure, it's a message. The script is basically screaming at us. Hey, I couldn't even find the resize handle you told me to look for. It's saying it's not on the page, or at least not where it's looking.
So we gotta do a little digging. We pop open the dev tools, inspect the page's structure, and there it is, the culprit. Turns out the resizable widget isn't actually on the main page. It's living inside something called an iframe.
So what's an iframe? Well, the easiest way to think about it is like a window inside your web page that's looking out onto a completely different web page. Our script was busy searching the main room, but our little resize handle was outside in the garden, visible only through that window. So how do we fix this? We have to tell our script to actually look through the window. Instead of searching for the handle directly, we first find the iframe itself. Then we give it a crucial command. Switch your focus into that frame. And only then, once we're inside the right context, can our script finally find the handle.
Okay, so we update the code, we run it again, and for one glorious second, it works. The script finds the frame, it switches into it, it grabs the handle, but then just as it tries to drag, it crashes again. And this time, it's a completely different error. And here is our second major plot twist. Move target out of bounds exception. Now this is just weird. Our script can now see the handle, it can grab it, but when it tries to move, it's saying, nope, sorry, that location is out of bounds. But how? How can it possibly be out of bounds? We have the whole screen to work with. This leads us to our second big realization. The rules inside the iframe are totally different from the rules on the outside. Okay, let's break this down. The coordinates aren't absolute. They're relative to whatever contains them. Our command to move 300 pixels horizontally? No problem, that was fine. But the 230 pixels vertically? See, that was the killer. On the main page, that's nothing. But inside the tiny world of the iframe, that was like asking it to take 230 steps in a room that's only 150 steps tall. We were literally telling it to run through a wall. So the fix was to just reduce that Y offset to 100, giving it a target it could actually reach. And with that one little change to the coordinates, we run the script a final time. It finds the frame, switches focus, grabs the handle, and success! The widget resizes exactly like we wanted. We solved the case. So we resized a box. Big deal, right? But this whole journey was about so much more than just one widget. What we've really done here is uncovered a fundamental mindset for how to tackle any automation challenge. So what are the big takeaways? First, and this is the most important one, errors are not failures, they are clues. They are the breadcrumbs leading you to the solution. Second, when an element seems to be missing, your first instinct should always be to hunt for an iframe. Third, context is everything. Coordinates are relative. And finally, remember that automation is rarely perfect on the first try. It's a process of trial, error, and discovery.
This quote just nails it, doesn't it? Don't be afraid to experiment. Don't be afraid to fail. The absolute fastest way to get good at automation is to embrace that hit and trial process and learn to read the story that your errors are trying to tell you.
So, with this new detective mindset, what's that one impossible element that you're going to try and tackle next? Because by treating every error as a clue, you're going to find that nothing is truly impossible to automate.